Okay, let's go over the CBA review. Number 1 is asking, what is the solution of 3x plus 4y greater than 15 when y is equal to -9? So if they're telling us what the value of y is, just simply replace your y with the number they've given us, and then we can solve. So we have 3x plus 4 times a -9 is greater than 15. So 3x, and then 4 times -9 is -36, greater than 15. And then we are going to, okay, we're going to add 36 to both sides. $36 is gone, and that leaves us 3x is greater than 51. And then we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. And 51 divided by 3 is 17. And the question is, do I leave my inequality sign or do I flip it? Well, we did not multiply or divide by a negative number, so it is going to stay. So my answer is going to be x is greater than 17. If we needed to graph it on a number line, we would put 17 on the number line, we would have an open circle, and we would be shading to the right. Okay, number 2 says the mapping below represents all of the points on the graph of function f. And this is function f because it says f of x. And so then it's asking what is the domain of f. So remember the domain would be my x values. So if this first oval is representing the x values, all I need to do is list that set of numbers. And so we have -4, -1, 0, 2, and 7. Number 3 says Rodney goes for a jog. When he leaves the house, he jogs at a slow pace. Then he stops to stretch. Then he restarts at the same slow pace, and then he ends his jog with a period of running at a very fast pace. Which graph shows Rodney's jog? So we need to make sure that we see he goes at a slow pace, he stops, he's continuing at that same slow pace, and then he runs very fast. So if we look at A, he runs, and then this is where he's stopping because time's going by, but he's not going anywhere. And then he runs again at the same slow pace. This does not mention the fast pace, so it's not A. This, he's running slow, and then he runs very fast and never mentions that he stops. This one, he's running at a slow pace. He stops for a while. He's running at the same slow pace, and then he picks up speed and runs faster here. So it looks like B is going to be the correct answer. Number 4 is asking us to solve for the given variable. So they've given us an equation, 6x plus 7y equals 21, and we're solving for y. So because we have 2 different variables in here, I'm not solving in solve in the calculator. I am just simply isolating my y, so that means I will get rid of my 6x term first by subtracting. That will leave me 7y equals. Now 21 and 6x, these are not like terms, so I cannot put them together. So I just have 21 minus 6x, and then I divide everything by 7. So the 7 is gone. 21 divided by 7 is going to be a positive 3. 6 will not be divided by 7 evenly, so I'm just going to leave that as -6/7x. So y equals 3 minus 6/7x. Number 5 says which situation does not represent y as a function of f? Sorry, y is a function of x. And so it's just asking which one is not a function. So remember, our x values cannot repeat to be a function. So if I look here, I have -3, -1, 0, 1, and 2. None of those are repeating, so A is not it, because I'm trying to find the one that's not a function. B, I only have one arrow coming off of each number. So again, I'm not repeating variables, so numbers, so that's not my answer. On C, if I were to do my vertical line test, if I had a pencil, and you guys could see me doing this, we would see that I'm not covering up more than 1 point at a time, so that would not be it. But D, if I do my vertical line test, right here, when I draw a vertical line, I am covering up a lot of points right there. So D would be the correct answer for number 5. Number 6 is asking for the domain and the range of the graph. So again, let's remind ourselves, domain would be the x values and range will be the y values. So if I look at my graph, it is a continuous graph, but it doesn't have arrows on the end, so it actually starts and stops. So if I go to this point and I go down, I can see that this is at -5. And I go to my far right end point and I go down and I can see this is at a +6. So I know my domain then needs to be from -5 less than or equal to, because it was a closed circle, x is my domain, again less than or equal to, because this end also was a closed circle, 6. So this is what we are looking for our domain. Let's see if we can find that. We have domain is -5 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 6. So this one works. -5 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 6. This also works. This one has a y here, and this one also has a y here. Those are not it. So it's either A or B. So now let's check our range. I need to go to my lowest point on the graph, which is going to be right here. So that's going to be a -3. And then my highest point on the graph is up here, and then it's going to be a +6. So again, less than or equal to, my range is the y value, and again, less than or equal to. So let's see if we can find which one of those. This says -5 is less than or equal to y, which is less than or equal to 6, which is not it, so it's not A. But this one, -3, less than or equal to y, less than or equal to, oh, I'm sorry, it is a 5. Look, 6 is right up here. So let's change that to a 5, and that will fit. So B is the correct answer. Number 7 says, if f of x equals 6x plus 4, what is f of -2? So let's remember, guys, that f of x is just a fancy way of saying y, and then f of -2 is their fancy way of telling us that's what our x is. So our x is -2. So now that I have y equals 6x plus 4, and I know x is -2, all I have to do is replace my x with -2 and simplify. So what is 6 times -2? That will give us -12 plus 4, and then -12 plus 4 is going to give us a -8. So my answer should be C, -8. Number 8 states that Jordan started saving last month by putting $70 into a savings account. If he plans to add another $35 every month, which inequality can be used to find M, the number of months it will take for Jordan to be able to buy his $615 dream stereo? Okay, so he started with $70. He's going to add 35 every month, and M is going to represent the number of months. So we are adding $35 every month. And then we're trying to get to $615. So we need at least, this has to be at least $615. Could we actually save more than that? Sure, but we couldn't save less than that. So that means this amount here needs to be greater than or equal to 615. So this is 70 plus 35M greater than or equal to 615. Looks like we found it on the first try. Okay, number 9. Which graph represents 5x plus 4 greater than 7x minus 10? Well, we need to simplify that. So 5x plus 4 is greater than 7x minus 10. I need to get my variables on one side, so I'm going to move my x to the left-hand side. And 5x minus 7x will give me a -2x plus 4 greater than a -10. Now I'm going to get rid of my 4 by subtracting. And I'm going to bring my answer up here because I'm running out of room. So I'm going to have a -2x greater than -10 minus 4 will give me -14. And then I'm going to divide by -2 on both sides. So that leaves my x. Negative 14 divided by negative 2 will give me a positive 7. And the question is, do we leave my inequality sign or do we flip? Well, we are going to flip this time because we divided by a negative number. So this is what my answer comes out to be. So I have to look. This D has an answer of 3. D has an answer of 3 on our number line. That's not it. So it should be either A or C. My inequality sign is less than, so this would indicate less than, and it's an empty circle, so C would be my answer. Number 10 is asking what is the range of the function below. Remember, range is going to be my y values. So I just need to go to the lowest y value and my highest y value, and I should be able to go from there. So my lowest y value is at negative 1. My highest y value ended up at a positive 7. It is the range, so I'm going to put a y in the middle. I have to decide my inequality signs. They're always going to be less than as long as you are putting your smallest y value first. And then we have to decide if it's equal to. Well, the negative 1 is for this point right here, which is an open circle, so it does not get the equal to. But the 7 is for this point right here, which is a closed circle, so it does get an equal to. So here would be my answer for number 10. Okay, number 11 says, Victor is going to buy Texans tickets online. The total cost C in dollars of T tickets can be found using the function below. C equals 55.50 T plus 12.5. If Victor spends a total of $179 on tickets, how many tickets did he buy? So it is telling us that he spent this amount of money. So remember, C was going to be the total cost. So this is his total cost. And we are asking how many tickets did he buy. So that means we are trying to figure out the T. So I'm going to replace my C with 179. And then I will have 55.50 times the number of tickets plus 12.5. Okay, so if we are solving for a variable and we have an equation, we can put this into nsolve. So let's go to the calculator. Okay, so remember, we're going to start at the home page or the home screen. We're going to go to Scratchpad on A, and there we will do menu, and then 3 algebra, and 1 is numerical solve. We can type in our equation, 179 equals 55.50 T plus 12.5. We're solving for T, so we're going to put comma T at the end, and then we hit the enter. So our answer comes out to be 3. So it looks like he's going to be purchasing 3 tickets. Okay, number 12 says solve the equation. We have 2 parentheses, 3x minus 5, close my parentheses, equals 4 parentheses, x plus 3, close parentheses, plus 2x, and we're solving for x. So again, all I see are the same variable throughout. It is an equal sign, so it's an equation with an equal sign, so we can solve for the variable x, and we can use nsolve. So again, let me pull up the calculator. Okay, so I have our problem written above our Scratchpad. So again, let's go to menu, and then we'll hit 3 for algebra and 1 for numerical solve. And let's type our equation in, 2 parentheses, 3x minus 5, close my parentheses, equals 4 parentheses, x plus 3, close my parentheses, plus 2x. And we're solving for x, so comma x at the end, and then we can hit enter. So it comes out no solution found. So let me flip back to our paper. And you can see no solution right here is one of our answer choices. So let's go ahead and put no solution. Let's go ahead and do number 13 while we're here. It's the same type of problem. We are solving for the variable x. I only have x's in here and it has an equal sign. So again, we can put it into nsolve. So let me flip that back over to our calculator. Okay, we're on Scratchpad. So menu, 3-1 again. And let's type in, I have a fraction, so I'm going to, there we go, there's my fraction bar. I have 2 over 3, oh, excuse me, 2 over 3, arrow over, and then I have a parentheses,